Everything has a different priority. What's good on a winning on Wednesday in the war room, fellas? What's going on?
What's going on? We are live, winning on Wednesday in the war room.
Check this audio real
Always
quick.
happy to be a part of this team, and just looking forward to an outstanding episode. We're good to go.
Yeah, we're good. Audio square.
On point. You know, that's our favorite tripwires, our audio, but we got it on track. If y'all notice tonight, we don't have no wires.
And we're getting better each week.
And we're getting better.
It's like when we went to the AirPods, right?
Oh,
right?
Man.
I mean, remember that big. Yeah. Hold on, I'm not wired into my Walkman.
Oh God. 8-track.
The word.
8-track.
The word Walkman.
Yeah. 8-track.
How about your Discman?
No.
Oh, let's go back into the.
We got 8-track Larry over here.
I don't think they had portable 8-track.
Hey, so before we get started today, I found out something really good, and this is like a little golden nugget today. So we got our buddy Evan Renfro in the studio over there. He's observing and just being a part of the crew tonight. But I found out that our man Casey has a second side to him and actually has a burner phone.
Oh shit! Dude,
yeah.
Tell. Give us the deets.
So I get this text message from Evan. Hey boys, still good to go? Absolutely, let's roll. I'm like, who's this other number? He's like, I thought that was Casey's number. I'm like, nah, bro. Here's his number. Here it is. This knucklehead chimes in about 10 minutes later. Hey, what's up, man? I'm like, whoa.
I don't even have that number.
Yes, exactly why I'm bringing this up. So my response to Evan was not even his friends have that number. So tell us about your wins and your burner phone this week.
How the hell did somebody else get those digits?
This is a hack from Ben. And what's, Ben Northcutt, part of the Patriot Business Alliance. And then, of course, your buddy KJ, right? We love KJ.
Shout out KJ.
Man, KJ, what's up? But, KJ walks around here. Give me this. This is KJ's life. He's like, hold on. It's not that one. It's not that one.
Yeah, he is the burner phone, man.
Hey, no, baby, I'll call you back on this other phone. Right? And that's his wife, right? Or his kid.
Hand me that,
right? I don't know who's in. So KJ's like fumbling around anyway, KJ's got so Ben Northcutt's like, don't do that, man. Don't do that. What you need is a different phone for work to basically give you another outlet, to give you another way to communicate with your team, with your clients, what have you. So I got a phone. You can now do this with a iPhone and even an Android. You can
dual numbers.
You can have dual numbers on one SIM card. It's pretty neat, and it's a great way to, multiply yourself.
I think I might just do that.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. I remember Northcutt talking about it.
Northcutt turned me on to it. I went over to Verizon. It's kind of a hassle to get your phone. Yeah, you really need to get the new upgrade, and then it takes them a while to do the programming, especially if you're on a business account, because we have like 6 phones on our account, and then you put like a 7th line on it. So there was a little bit of 24 hours of brain damage when that happened, but it has been extremely helpful. It really has been.
That's neat.
Right.
I need to do that because my one phone number operates 4 different companies.
Right. And it just gets blown up day after day after day after day.
Like I guarantee you it'll ring 10 times while we're on this.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty interesting though today.
Yeah, that's
so clever. Just thought I would start to show off with a little chuckle, man. It was kind of a cool little.
In case he's got a burner phone.
Driving down 75 to McKinney, and I'm like, hey, who is this, bro?
Why don't I have that?
So what's up, Doc? What's up with your wins this week?
Man, what is today? Wednesday. So today's the Navy birthday. So go Navy. You know what I mean? Go Navy, beat Army. I had the honor and privilege of being able to speak to veterans on Friday at an organization that we're all a part of. It's called the Band of Brothers, and they had asked me to be a guest speaker to talk about the Navy heritage and more importantly, talk about the roles and responsibilities of a corpsman and why they are held in such high regard with the Marine Corps and throughout several branches of the military. Corpsmen actually kind of just set the tone on what it takes to be a really badass medical personnel. So that was huge. And most people that know me, I'm not a shy individual.
No, you wouldn't say.
When I got to speak in front of these people, I'm talking the gentlemen, the ladies and gentlemen in this room, like I look up to those guys.
Yeah.
Those people are my mentors. Those are the ones that I don't want to disappoint.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so when I was asked to speak to that crowd, I was kind of nervous, little butterflies. I was like, oh my gosh, I hope I deliver the way I need to deliver. And I hope I don't botch it too bad. And when it was all said and done, a lot of people came back and was like, "Hey, man, great speech, great job, this, that, and the other," which was a huge relief for me. So that's a big personal win for me.
Hey, I got to give a shout out to Brad Johnson. Brad, where you at? Brad was a 26-year Navy corpsman and 14 as a Devil Doc.
Hell yeah.
So, thanks for your service, Brad. Thank you, Mike.
Yeah. So for all those Devil Docs out there, you know exactly what we're talking about. We get pretty much put through the ringer whenever you have to become a part of the Marine Corps. So that was a huge honor and privilege for me. In respect to business wins, we have figured out a new tax strategy to be able to reduce our paycheck to the Uncle Sam. So we're extremely excited about some future events that we have going on here with inside the multiple businesses that myself and Rochelle operate. And so we're really, man, I'm telling you what, I'm excited to get through 2021. Like, I want to put this year behind me because 22 is going to be freaking golden. And we're actually starting on preparing for 2022 as soon as November 1.
As soon as you cut that final 2020 check, right?
As soon as I get Uncle Sam squared away, that's the last. That's like that thorn in the lion's foot.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Everybody's afraid to go pull it, but damn it, it's got to be pulled.
Yeah,
Gotta go.
But once it's done, it's done.
But yeah, and then the lion's your friend again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
we're no longer enemies. So a lot of great things are happening down the pipe. I mean, we have our guys in Louisiana that are just smoking it. We have the drug testing company that's running on autopilot. Rochelle's companies is soaring through, making new heights. So we just went in everywhere we do. And then I had a great, freaking phenomenal Thursday and Friday with our Apex executive teams. Just tons of knowledge was poured into us. Met with my business coach yesterday.
Big old TK.
I'm just winning all over here. I mean, I'm just winning. I win so much. I'm just giving out wins now to people.
Well, it just goes to show you that when you invest in yourself and you actually start putting in, and we're not talking about just the time, like when you put money into your mentorship, when you put money into your business coaching, you have no choice but to step up your game
or take a loss.
But I ain't giving away money. I don't work for free. You know what I mean? So if you're out there and you're wondering, hey, what's the next step? How can I become a better business owner or a better man or woman? Invest in yourself is the bottom line to it.
And we actually brought in 2 new sales reps.
This dude's hiring like freaking McDonald's, man.
But I don't.
Anybody needs a job?
But I don't ask for people to. I don't have an ad out there.
That's because you're not hiring. You're recruiting.
I'm not even. Like, they're just showing up, and I don't even recognize the guy.
Yeah.
Like, hey, what's up?
You're attracting talent by your success.
Yeah. I didn't know the dude. All I knew is he had a Lone Survivor collared shirt on.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, man, what's up? Is everything good? He was like, yeah, Aaron told me to come and meet you. He said you were going to hire me.
Good old Withrow.
Well, we did.
Well, thanks.
I was like, so we went through our systems and processes of hiring and talked to him, and you know what I mean? So he ended up being a real phenomenal individual. Looking forward to growing with this guy. And we're just getting better every single day.
That's all you can do, man. I had my business and personal wins were kind of mixed together today, and I'll start with the personal side. I got a chance to have a good conversation with a veteran today. That could be a client. We'll see. But Air Force Special Forces, got all jacked up. He's wheelchair bound, amputee, the whole deal. And I just had a really good conversation that put a lot of things in perspective from our end, because we were talking about the PBA and kind of what he does for the vet community, what we do for just humans, you know what I mean? So it's always good to take away a win when you have a good conversation with someone that just grounds you and lets you know, hey, we're doing all of this for the right reasons. And we're not a bumper sticker organization that's just trying to get money. So that was a good one. And then business win is just, look, man, we're really close to our 2020 goals. And so I would say maybe for the last 30 days on my whiteboard, I've been breaking down my sales into monthly and daily goals and hitting them. Right. And the reason I think I'm doing that is because I know what it's taken me to get to that. Right. Instead of having this goal that's just like, oh, well, maybe I'll get to it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So if you're out there with goals and you're trying to hit some numbers this time of year, take the number you're trying to hit, break it down by the weeks left in the year, and then break it down by the days left in the year, and right, those granular goals become massive successes.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing that playing out right now. So I wanted to make sure I share that so the audience can hear that and do that.
And it sounds like you're just reverse engineering what you're trying to accomplish.
That's it, man.
I'm
Just,
hearing that a lot.
Mhm.
There's a lot of chatter about reverse engine, but something we've been talking about a long time. Start with the end in mind,
That's right.
absolutely.
right? And then start. So with the end in mind, and then come backwards from that.
Yeah, I mean, you got to have a plan, right? If you don't have a plan, you're just floating. So, what about your wins?
Man, big win for me. Personal, had the teach check in with the boys today. So
Knife hands all around.
knife hands.
Knife hands all around in the classroom.
These boys did good.
Yeah.
Thank God they're smarter than me.
Wait till they're freshmen, okay?
Yeah, I know. Been there, done that.
That's right.
Now raise them right. Knife hands and shooting bad guys.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
That's what's up. So, but they're just doing so great in school, reading at beyond their level, pushing themselves all the time. And, one thing I loved about our $1 Million Hustle, besides the opportunity to put it on, was listening to Tom Keenan talk about challenging his kids every day. Are you acting like a champion?
Yeah.
Are you being a champion in school? Are you being a champion right now on this little micro stage
Mhm.
with your brother that you keep effing with? Right. Stop that and be a champion. And that just changes the game. Right. And I think that's really, really moved the needle with those two. Because they're total knuckleheads. They're just like me.
They're boys, dude.
They love speed. Matt's like, what's a helmet?
Yeah.
That's what's
Let
up.
me get on this thing and go down this hill as fast as I can, not using the brakes, skid around the corner, not die, and then make it up the next
And you're
hill.
shocked?
Because you're not going to die. Like,
Do you want to tell the story from 2 years ago?
No, I know. You wear the vest
Yeah.
and the helmet and all the gear. Dress for the slide, not the ride. And then, work wins. And hey, audience, throw it in the chat. We want to hear from you.
Yeah.
We do know that there are some fans out there that aren't always, they don't want to engage, thumbs up, this, that, and the other, but we want to hear from you, but we want to hear what your wins are. It's important to us, right? So work wins, I think going on week 2 of implementing an absolutely new daily training regimen with the team every day. And I can tell, there's fluctuations in team performance. There always is, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I can absolutely tell that team performance is elevated every day, and it's because of these daily trainings, right? It's not just, you're getting the reps in, right? And it's like, so when COVID set in, we were doing dailies, right? And sometimes they would devolve just into a little social hour because people were trapped in their homes and they needed that, right?
Mhm.
But now we have 2 offices. We still have some remote people, right? We have to have this in, but doing this daily where we're doing the reps and we're doing our training and we're talking about the training we're doing independently, man, I just like sharpen the saw every day. And I am loving it. I'm loving it every and I'm at a point, even we're just 2 weeks in. We're not even full 2 weeks in and I can hand off the football.
Yep.
I'm like, hey, I got to run into this courthouse. So Austin, shout out to Austin today, because I just literally handed Austin the football. I'm like, this is on you now. So I want you to do X, Y, and Z with Jeff now.
Yeah.
I'm hanging up.
Yeah. Good.
I didn't hang up. I just muted myself and I listened in for a few minutes. I was totally impressed with the way that just the training continued.
Well, that's what they say. If you put in the work, you put in the training, you put in the reps, the result is going to be the result that you set the expectation for.
Well, that's what Floyd McClendon said when he was here, right? He said they train so hard so you don't have to think during the op.
That's right.
Right. Muscle
The
memory
op
kicks
becomes
in.
easy.
Yeah, exactly.
The op is easier than the
In
training.
the training.
Yeah. So
There's one win that I think that we need to recognize.
damn, he's pulling out of his pocket like you were last week. I love it. I love it.
Got one here,
I'm
got
telling
one
you.
here.
And it's
Got more wins than a dealer on
Harry Hines.
Harry Hines.
I don't even know. Okay. I don't know, Rochelle. So I want to put out a win for the Patriot Business Alliance.
Hey,
Okay. So I want to give you
this
guys
win,
I want to give you guys some kudos. Wireless win.
wireless
We got
win.
a wireless win.
Yeah.
It's called a WW. No, man, just for our vision being implemented, setting the goal, putting action behind those goals, and continuously providing the value that our listeners expect from us.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, And then us coming in daily, no matter what it is or what it, how upset that other people can get behind it, we still stay committed to it. And that is huge. I mean, we are all significantly busy individuals.
Yeah.
But we come in here and we pour back into our audience. And that is so huge that we don't even think of recognizing what we're actually doing.
Yeah.
And then the next win is we're going to begin implementing strategies to allow other business owners to be able to get the same limelight that we're all getting.
Oh man, I mean, it's going to be big time because there's folks out there, like Casey said, that kind of watch from the shadows, but we're about to open up opportunities for those people to get involved and be a part, not necessarily just kind of watching from the corner, but be involved and get some publicity and get the ability to spread your wings too. Because when we started this, that's where we started. The end in mind was to help business owners.
Yeah.
We don't know it all. We're not perfect, but you know what? We know people who do, and we have
right.
mentors. So if we don't have the answer, we're going to get it for you no matter what. So
Right.
I'm glad you brought that up, man, because that's a big step. And we always talk
huge.
about not celebrating our own personal wins. And that's why Doc started this. This is what we talk about before we do anything is let's celebrate our wins because it's important to do so. So
It's
good shit for
it's
that.
just incredible that even though sometimes us three, we may not agree on certain items, that we're still grown enough to say, you know what, let's figure out what's going to work best as a whole unit.
It's really just you not agreeing with us.
Well, none of us are yes men. Like on a serious note, though, none of us are yes men, right? So
No,
you
we're not.
want to have a little friction. You want to have healthy friction in any organization, because if everybody just goes with the flow, to me that feels stagnant.
That's correct.
Right. And I don't dig that. So I like the fact that, I called Casey today. I had to hit him up and say, hey, I got this issue and I don't have a process or a system for it. Let me bounce this off of you. And the learn there was, hey, get a system for this now.
Yeah.
Don't wait. Do it now.
And I had to call him Monday.
Yeah.
I don't remember what day, but same thing, right? Hit a tripwire, right? Had even had contingency plans in place. I just needed to ventilate about it, need to talk about it, need to get some perspective on it, need to get some feedback on it, right? Lean into your alliance. That's not something I'm good at doing. And these two guys got to remind me all the time, stop being a knucklehead. You don't have to do everything.
Yeah, you don't have to carry the world on your shoulders.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to recognize the strides that the PBA has made.
Hey, these guys are here for you too, viewers, right?
Working with a new camera angle tonight.
We got the new Batman,
Yeah.
1968 angle going on upstairs.
Trying to
up
figure
top.
it out. Yeah.
We're gonna get it on the side view here in a minute.
It's gonna be super crazy when we have like 12 more cameras and we'll just be like boom, boom, boom.
Yeah. It'll be from every. But the point is though, for those of you who are at the $1 Million Hustle, and you heard Mike Bassett talk, and he's like, here's my cell phone number. It's the last thing he says, right? Here's my cell phone number, my personal number. I want you to call me if you're ever in trouble, if you're ever in the ditch. Call me. I call Mike Bassett probably once a week, and I call these guys every couple of days.
Dude,
I mean, we call each other so much that our wives make fun of us for how much we're on the phone with each other. And, but the point is that viewers, reach out to us. My cell phone number is 972-834-9360.
Is that
You
the
can call
burner
me.
number or the other number?
That's the burner number.
Oh, good. Now I have it.
See, now I'm so confused on who this guy even
I don't
is.
even
No, the burner's a
I
903.
don't
When
even
you get the
know.
903,
He
That's
doesn't.
when
He
make it to
doesn't.
the next
He got a
stage.
burner phone. He don't.
Yeah.
He don't like Santa. Like, who are you,
I
bro?
love Santa.
That's
Anyway,
bullshit.
hey, let's jump in. Let's jump into tonight because we're focusing this month
Sorry, Keith.
is basically talking about tonight's going to be about not
Yeah,
everything's
let's get to the topic already.
equally important, because you mentioned it. We're all busy, but we don't use that as an excuse. And if anybody comes to me with that, squash it. Right? Everybody's
If I ain't
busy.
I'm failing.
Right? So let's talk about tonight how everything that you do on a day-to-day basis is not equally important and how that affects you, because oftentimes I had it happen yesterday. How'd your day go? Man, I had a great plan and it went to shit right at 8:30, right? Because I chose to make something important that wasn't, and it
Yeah.
completely derailed me for the day. So
Yeah.
go ahead and kick us off there, Casey, Mr.
All
Loud
right.
Dog.
All right. So doing fewer things and doing them better, right? And then so the overall topic of the month of October, juggling too much, we've kind of already gone through some of that. I'm not going to go back into juggling, but in our lives, in our businesses, as we talked about last week in the intro, you feel like you're literally the juggler at the circus, right? So, you know, I like definitions. I like breaking things down. How do you, you know, going back to the beginning, right? Everything's not equally important. Your life, I saw this analogy, right? You've all seen it, right? This truck headed for a bridge that doesn't have enough clearance. Well, what's that truck going to do? It's either going to hit that bridge. You can't raise the bridge.
Dukes of Hazzard, that some bitch.
Right. You gotta unpack.
Yeah.
Right. You gotta unpack the truck. You got to unload, right? So that overload that you're carrying around when you're being a knucklehead, like I've done over and over and over, you're carrying the weight on your shoulders. You're not relying on your alliance to help you unpack that. That'll, you know, you'll be unfocused. You'll be overwhelmed. You know, you're trying to get up, write your goals down, do your workout, raise your kids, get them out the door, get to work, do your grind, not paying attention to what you're doing in 30-minute increments.
Yeah, that's
right?
key, man.
You know, and then you're just at the end of it, you're very, very busy, but you didn't accomplish a lot.
Busy and productive, two different
Right.
things.
So, you know, there are ways that and we've talked about this. We had a whole deal on time management, multiple ones, right?
Yeah.
You know, find out what a free throw is. This 30-minute drill that Mike challenged Jeff and Jeff challenged me to do, where you're just writing in 30-minute increments how you're tracking your day, finding out where you're unproductive. You wasting too much time making a war machine, right? You know, getting a little espresso, chatting with your coworker. You wasting time, you know, on the Xbox, and it's okay to waste time on that. But did you earn the right to waste that time, right? Because you were super productive. You're like, I deserve the reward of an espresso right now. Or, you know, it's 6:00, kids at a game. I'm going to get some Call of Duty in right now. I got 30 minutes for Call of Duty.
I did it last night, man.
Because I earned it, right? But we're also talking about identifying, you know, where you can make time, right? By taking command and control of time you're wasting.
Well, it's about doing the fewer things better.
Yeah.
Than not everything 80%.
That's the next step,
Yeah.
right? You want to do fewer things better. Figure out where your free throws are. You know, if you're the late shift guy, be the late shift guy. If you're the 4 to 8 watch, be the 4 to 8 watch. Not everybody has the same, what's that clock? The body clock? Come on.
Yeah.
What's it? It sounds like a bug.
It's a
The
biological
circadian clock, circadian, whatever.
Come on.
That thing.
Circadian rhythm.
Yeah, that thing, right?
Circadian
That
rhythm.
thing, you
That
know,
doesn't sound anything like a bug.
it chirps at night, you know, in the summers. that thing.
That thing.
Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Somebody does. Somebody help this guy out because nobody knows what the fuck he's talking about.
Sorry, Keith.
Hey, what's up, Robert? Thanks for joining us, brother. Appreciate you, man.
So, you know, the next step, right, is you know, doing less, unpack the truck. And I found an awesome, very inspiring quote by a Catholic or Jesuit, or maybe he was both. St. Francis of Assisi. Start by doing what's necessary. I'm sure this sounds more beautiful in Latin, right? Start by doing what's necessary. Do what's possible. And then suddenly you're doing the impossible.
Dude, I tell my guys every day, I lay them out, I walk through, I ask them, do you have everything you need to be productive, etc.? And I tell them, start with the hardest thing first.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And there's a reason for that, right? Because when you accomplish that hard task, what happens? Your morale is boosted, right?
Confidence goes up.
Confidence is up. You get the woo-saw moment where it's like, whoa, that's done. Now all this is cake. We're money. We're moving, right? So I love that, man.
Right. You get that momentum.
Yes.
That mojo.
Right.
Flowing.
Get that mo, right? So you take action on what's absolutely necessary, right? And you do the hardest thing first. I think that's absolutely critical, right? The thing that must be done. Right. One thing that I've learned from Jeff is making a plan. That is it's just absolutely phenomenal to make a plan. Having a plan in place,
And it's important.
staggered out.
Does it always go to plan? Usually not.
And oftentimes that's why I don't even write plans because I already know the damn end result. I began with the end in mind, and I knew that my plan was going to go to shit. So I said, you know what?
This is something
FYE,
that,
Mike. FYE.
so this is something that I see that we share in common, right? Because Corpsman, Coast Guard, you move at rescue speed.
That's right.
Right. You move it. You don't move at attack speed like the Marines.
Yeah.
The Marines move at attack speed, right? But it's very calculated.
Yes.
They're fast, right? First to go, last to know, whatever, all the little sayings, right?
Right.
But they move at attack speed, which means they have just enough time to make a plan, get whatever gear that they can get, because they ain't got a lot of gear because they don't have a good budget. The Navy gets all the toys. But then they send them into combat with green shit to go to Afghanistan. Sorry, Keith. We know what happened. Right. Here's some green camis to go fight a battle in the desert or however it went down. Right.
That's how it went down.
Because they just didn't have the money. They didn't have time to plan it. You just got to get there. But you got to move even faster when there's a life on the line.
That's right.
Right. I don't know what's in this kit. Give it to me, Skinner. I got to patch up Casey. He's, this, that,
we're
and the
very
other.
reactionary.
And you move at rescue speed, not attack speed. So it's even less of a plan. Like
That's right.
whatever the plan was, it was packed up in a bag maybe 6 months ago. You're going to grab that bag.
That same thing though happens in your business.
That's
It does, right?
Right.
But this is where you got to step back.
Yeah, it's not always a
Don't move it.
proactive measure when you're running a business. And me going into my 5th year, I'm seeing that, right? I try to be as proactive as possible, but there's often times where you have to be reactionary to what's taking place.
Yeah.
And falling back on your training again is where when you have to become a reactive force, okay, here's what we need to do. Juggling all of these things like we talked about last week is a different story than prioritizing what's important now.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Juggling
Absolutely.
and prioritizing are totally different. So I want to make sure that's clear. That's we're not talking about
That's why the
juggling.
plan is so critical. This is why the attack speed is critical.
Yeah.
And rescue speed can be a hindrance, right? Because you're flying by the seat of your pants. I hope I brought it, because if it's like you go out to there's one thing I'll tell you about going out to sea. If you don't have it, you'll want it.
That's right.
And one equals none, and two equals one.
Yeah.
Right. I mean,
If you don't have two of everything, you only have one of everything. And if you have one of everything, you have none of everything.
what is that? What is that law?
Redundancy.
No, like if it's going to go wrong, it will go wrong.
Yeah, that thing.
Oh, the
Right.
force of
The
average.
force of average, right?
It's what we're
You know
battling
I mean?
against every day.
Every single day. the
Every
devil-
minute of
yeah.
every day.
The devil outside doing push-ups, the universe punching in,
Yeah,
what,
and the wherewithal.
and the wherewithal.
Yeah.
But here's this is so where we're taking action on what's absolutely necessary. And I like definitions because again, I like breaking it down because it helps me understand, and I hope it helps y'all understand. Right? It's what is essential, that which must be done.
Mhm.
Right? And Jeff's absolutely right. You make that plan and you implement that process and you get what is essential done. And then what does that do? Right? Just like St. Francis was talking about in his beautiful sermon back in medieval times, right? He's like, if you do what must be done, then you have the momentum. This is John Maxwell's law of the big mo, right?
Yeah.
You hit your damn free throws. Guess what's going to happen? The game's going to start going your way,
Yeah.
right? And how do you hit your damn free throws? Well, you make a plan, you practice, you prepare,
Repetition.
right? And then you
Yeah.
start getting that momentum. And we've all felt it in business. Like I know when I got the big mo in a trial, because then the rulings start going my way,
Yeah.
right? The evidence may get excluded. The jury's eyeballing me more. I'm making more contact with them. They're not looking at me as some, with disdain or whatever. You start feeling that momentum. When a job is going right, when you're up on a roof or in a neighborhood, really is more like, because we're thinking way bigger than just a roof going right. We're thinking like, I'm blowing out this neighborhood. Everybody here is loving the experience they have with Doc's Residential Roofing, and they're all getting in line. There's 100 roofing companies in this neighborhood knocking on doors. They're getting in there. No, wait, we've already talked to Doc's people, or we're waiting to talk. You got the momentum.
Yeah.
Right. And when you got it, right? So we've seen that in football games, basketball games, baseball.
All sports. Yeah.
Right? But you get
Mhm.
that momentum. Like one thing goes right, then the next thing goes right, then boom, the lid's off the can and it's over.
So let's talk about this then. We know that we need to prioritize. So we've talked in the past about the 80-20 rule. So we don't need to beat that horse, right? So that 80-20 rule, 80% of what you can't do very well, give it away, 20% knock it out of the park, right? How do you implement fewer things into your workplace right now, Doc?
Delegate.
Okay.
That's how I implement fewer things. I evaluate the day in the morning. So
Yeah.
I do get up at 6 a.m. and I take my 30, 45 minutes and do my little powwow. I'm building a habit of writing down what needs to happen that day
Yeah.
in order of precedence.
Yeah.
Right?
Priority.
The hardest thing first. And sometimes the hardest things first is to deal with your employees, right? With your coworkers. Right?
Get employees, they said. Yeah, it'd be fun.
You know what I'm saying? Because you may think that the project is the hardest thing, but sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's just figuring out why aren't these things being done? Why, where are we at? And so you get in there and you have that plan and you want to go in there with an open mindset, right?
Yeah.
You want to go in there with optimism, positivity, with whatever you're going to be doing in life, right? And so I began to shrinking my role and responsibilities to where I only do what I know is going to make the company successful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like that.
So that's how I've kind of taken a step back and really began, which has allowed me to focus my attention on other bigger things.
I was reading something the other day, and the words "fill the gap" is what stuck out to me out of whatever I was reading. And I kind of stepped back and I was like, okay, that makes sense, right? And I think we've talked about that before, whatever. But when you fill the gap, you want to fill a position or a task within your company. You don't want to create a gap for someone who doesn't fit the gap.
Yeah.
So I see where you're coming from, because I'm filling out my gaps right now. You know what I'm saying? And who's good at what and who's not good at what and all that jazz. So I like that you're delegating, because it wasn't until I started delegating where I was able to come back to you and go, dude, it's working.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Like, oh shit, that stuff works.
Yeah, it works.
So folks, the stuff that we're saying tonight and have said for the last 2 years is real. I mean, like, it
implemented
works.
in our own businesses.
It works.
Yeah.
I do it on a daily basis. Am I successful every single day? Absolutely. I am.
Somehow.
Some way.
Yeah.
I was successful.
Yeah.
And because that's what boils down to those gratitudes.
Yes.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Every single day, I should be able to wake up, no matter how bad of a day I had.
You're 6 feet up.
Guarantee you, I'm going to find some W's,
mm-hmm.
right? Because that's what I need when I rest my head at night, so I can wake back up with the same momentum, same energy, and the same willingness to go out and crush it again.
Yeah, my boy Chase. What's up, Chase? Thanks for joining, brother.
Chase, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, Robert says absolutely working on the business instead of in the business. Man, Robert, I tell you what, dude, it's been a game changer for me this year alone, and I've leaned on these guys.
Robert Nelson,
Robert Quinn, man.
Okay.
So I like the delegation part. What about you, Casey? Like, what do you feel like? How are you doing it? Like, how are you implementing doing fewer things? And it could be you, it could be your team, it could be whatever. Because I'm with Doc. That's where I'm at with you.
That's always a challenge. But here's the thing. If you're not, so yes, delegating, but also training, but also teaching, being the mentor, right? If I hear it over and over and over, people a few chapters ahead of me or many chapters ahead of me, never could find anybody good. My business didn't work out. My law firm didn't work out. I never could find anybody good. Never could train anybody good enough. That's a failure of leadership, right? That's not accepting responsibility for your own internal failure. A recruit is a recruit until he doesn't have to recruit anymore.
Yeah.
Right. I heard that from, I don't remember what training it was. I think it was Brandon Dawson. Pretty amazing. And maybe that's a John Maxwellism. It doesn't really matter. The point about it is, got to train those recruits. You got to be able to instruct them to do that job. If it takes you 20 times to teach them so you don't ever have to do it again, it's worth it.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say, man, because I was trying to follow along with what you're saying, but it's starting to make sense to me. The more you train, and right now I'm just thinking of how we've dealt with Big Country for the last year. All the training that I gave him when he hit a year, I told him, let's go time, right? It's ready to go. And he actually absolutely killed it the other day. He took a whole project down in Dallas, not close to home, real uncomfortable right off the bat. Took the whole thing from start to finish. So his first job was not even a local job. And it just kind of hit me right now. Wow. That was
way to go, Country.
Yeah. Big shout out to him for that. But it's a byproduct of the training.
Yeah.
Which you can rely upon that to say, okay, you got it right now, implement it here. That makes sense. So now
but that allows you to do the 80-20, right? Like, how do you delegate? 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 How do you delegate Well, you need to find people who want to do that work so you can focus on other parts of your business, and you need to train them to be able to do that work at the level you do it.
You got a gang load of people you're implementing a lot of stuff with.
Yeah.
Like you got some in your brain. What is it? I see your eyes.
So I believe there's a difference between just delegating to get something off your plate
100%.
and then effectively delegating to the right person
Right seat on
to
the right
get it
bus.
done.
Yeah.
And so I've made those mistakes where I'm like, you know what, Evan, go do this. I was like, man, I record stuff. I'm like, I know, but I need to swing that hammer. Right.
Yeah.
And so I've done that
Yeah.
just so that I could free up my little bit of time so I could go and focus on what I'm good at. And so understanding the 20-80 rule, the 80-20 rule, whatever, it all has to be intentional.
Yeah.
It has to have a reason. It has to have a result that you're looking for at the end of that delegation.
Yes.
Then from there, are they held accountable? And at what level of accountability are you holding them at?
Yeah.
Right. So if I put on piss poor training and I send somebody out into the field to do something, and I'm like, why did you botch this up? And I have to come back and I have to reevaluate me.
Yeah.
Right. Where was the failure? So today, coworker of mine, Anthony, calls me up. He's like, hey man, I really am struggling with going to networking events and getting out of my comfort
zone. Yeah.
Right. Like if anybody knows my boy Anthony, this is a big, swole black dude.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's rock.
So
he's rock solid.
He's solid. And so I can understand his apprehension. He was like, when people see me, I'm intimidating. And I said, well, smile.
Yeah.
He's like, what? I said, just smile, bro.
Yeah.
I said, it's something so simple of you coming in. And because oftentimes people walk into rooms defensively.
Yeah. Go from Debo
Right.
to Kevin Hart.
We go in there and we're on
Yeah.
the defense. This guy's going to try and sell me something. This person's going to try and finagle something. This, you know,
especially in a networking.
in a networking group, right?
Uh-huh.
So I said, instead of going there on the defense,
Yeah.
how about you go in there and smile and stay on the offense,
Yeah.
right? Become willing to listen.
Man.
Don't even tell people what you do.
Mm-hmm.
Ask them. Empower that person, right? By
Yeah.
you asking the questions.
Yeah.
And once you
Yeah.
establish the rapport, then you can come back and become, hey, I run this. I'm part of the roofing company. This is what I do. This is
Yeah.
who I am and what am I about.
You know,
Right,
my
right.
post today was about expectations, right?
Mhm.
You guys saw it, whatever, and having clear expectations. And Rick Johnson hit me back with a comment and saying that the listening is where you establish expectations. That's the same with networking. That's why I kind of fell out of the networking for a little while. I did it real hard. And then I was like, I'm pumping my brakes a little bit because I was going in there defensively.
Right.
But the moment I switched my mindset to, I'm just going to go here and hang, and I'm going to ask everybody what they do instead of worrying about what I do.
Yeah.
Dude, the tides turn instantly.
Instantly.
I'm telling you, it's a totally
So
different
if
game.
you're taking notes, take
Mhm.
that
In-
note, because it's hard.
Instantly.
Move to a town, right? You're not from here. You're from Mesquite,
Whoa.
right?
What you trying to say, man?
What are you trying to say?
I lived in
You know where
Mesquite.
we're from, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, me
Two
too.
of us.
You ain't from Mesquite.
I lived there for
He's-
10 years. It counts.
That
Well,
doesn't count.
he's from Houston, so
He
we'll
is,
give him some
yeah.
credit.
He's from
That's
the
a fucking
wards.
shithole down there
From
too.
that
Nah, not from the wards.
From that fourth ward.
No, I just went to school there, but that's fine.
Here's something.
Fifth,
Here's something
actually.
in our notes that really stuck out to me tonight. Don't spend too much time thinking and planning, but implement your plan.
That's right.
I like that because you can adapt and overcome to your plan. But if you sit there, in
Thinking
your
about planning, and planning to
paralysis.
plan.
well, paralysis by analysis, right? If you're worried about it, like just sometimes you just got to start it. And Doc is a prime example of this. This room, that room is a just started, right?
Mhm.
This one's better. It's a little more thought out, but that's really what happened. A
Mhm.
year and some change ago, we were standing here talking about something, and next thing you know, we're at Home Depot and at Joann's Fabrics and whatever. But sometimes you just have to make the move.
Yeah.
The first step is always the hardest,
Yeah.
and then you build momentum from there.
Take action. Like go into that networking thing
Yeah, smile.
and smile. And you know what? That's
It's contagious.
fantastic advice because people will smile back at
That's
you.
right.
Right? Doesn't matter what networking room you're in. You could be in the grumpiest
And
bunch of
smile real
networkers.
big at the
You could be
haters.
down in Houston, Texas.
Give the haters the biggest smile. We
Yeah,
got
hey,
we got a couple of them
What
that are
is
how you
chiming
doing?
in. Yeah.
Well, his biggest complaint was like, how do I not feel intimidated? And I said, first stop shopping at Baby Gap. You know what I mean?
Oh, the
Quit-
mediums.
Quit rolling around all swole, bro.
Look,
And I
just
said-
simplify. Don't be Debo. Be Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
And I said, go in there and just be genuine and just smile and just be you. And that's
Yeah.
it. And you're going to be fine. Like I make it a point when I drive to wave to as many people as possible. And like My
I
daughter
waved to a
thinks-
couple today the wrong way, but yeah, I get your point.
you know what I mean? And my daughter was in the truck,
Flock of gulls.
and she's like, Dad, why are you waving at everybody? And I said, man, Haley, I said it's because I'm selfish. She's like, I don't get it. She
Yeah.
goes, you're waving at somebody. How does that make you selfish? And I said, man, because if I wave at somebody and they're kind of in a shitty mood, and all of a sudden, as I was kind to them, and they turned around and was kind back to me,
Makes you feel good.
I just win.
Paycheck to the heart
Paycheck to the heart.
every day.
And she's like, oh, so she had a light bulb moment. She
Yeah.
goes, wow, that makes a lot more sense. I said, 90% of drivers are out there are disgruntled drivers,
Oh my,
pissed
especially in
off.
Rockwall.
especially just anywhere. You get in a truck, you're already pissed. Oh, God, fucking on the road, you know?
Yeah, that was my whole day today.
Right?
Yeah, I feel you.
But if you just, like when you're there and you're cruising along and you're at a red light and you look over and this person is just so, you just see it. You can feel their energy
Yeah.
coming through their car.
Roll my
Hey,
window up.
You know what I mean? I roll my window down. I want to tap on your window. Like, cheer up, Buttercup.
I had a dude
Like you're
follow me
winning.
into a residential neighborhood today, and I'm doing 30. I think that's kind of fast if you ask me in a neighborhood. And he's like, right on my tail, dude. So of course, I'm a kind, generous guy.
Yeah,
So I
you
slow
are.
down to about 15,
Yeah.
make it nice and slow for him, and then he passes by and I waved at him. Nice, right? Some people though, you just can't get through to that.
Just
But that
be
doesn't mean you
careful.
can't always do it, because I like your analogy of, hey, smile to people. It changes their days, because it really does.
Yeah.
But there's some people out there, world, you need a bird.
Yeah.
You need a couple of them, and maybe even a punch in the face.
There,
and I'm okay
there
with
are
that.
folks out there, but I like the challenge of those folks.
Yeah, me too.
I will
Yeah.
make you happy,
Mm.
right? Like my whole.
If not, I'm gonna make you way more mad, and I'm
Yeah.
okay with that too.
And I'm
Yeah.
cool, because you're gonna laugh at the end of the day. Like we're gonna walk away happy.
That's gonna be a story that they tell somebody. I
Yeah.
promise.
And, you know, when I do it in restaurants, I do it at gas
Yeah.
stations, I do it everywhere I go.
I love this lesson. I
Is-
love this lesson.
Is you
Yeah.
just smile, be kind, and create your own happiness.
Every stage is a micro stage,
That's
right?
it.
Every encounter with a
Every.
human is a little
Right.
stage,
Yep,
and taking advantage of that.
man,
But-
you've been saying that for a long time, and it never really hit me until just, I don't know, maybe a year ago, about the stage thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I didn't really hit me either, but I was listening to Doc, and then I went down for that stages training, and we came back and we started planning out $1 Million Hustle, and you start thinking of like every encounter, right? Everybody
Mhm.
walking through the Lowe's parking lot, grumpy on a Sunday because I returned some shit. God dang it!
Yeah.
So
Don't want to be here. I just bought all this stuff and we get some money back, and I'm just mad. Now I gotta go stand in line. All these people breathing on me with the COVID.
with the bit. So
right, they're mad, man. You be like, "Hey, what's up? What are you returning?"
That didn't work either, huh? You want some of my junk? It didn't work for me.
I'll be like, you know what? Let me
How
buy
about
it.
I'll trade
Yeah.
you?
How
about
Is
you?
yours
Let me
worth
buy it.
more
Yeah.
than mine?
Like I'll jack with people, man. It's crazy. So I took Anthony, right? I said, Anthony, I'm fixing to take you to Lowe's. And he's like, why? I was like, well, I got to pick up some things and I'm gonna do some training. He's like, well, how are we gonna do training at Lowe's? I said, what we're gonna do is we're gonna walk down the shingle aisle. And if we find anybody that's in the shingle aisle that's not a roofer or a contractor, we're going to go and help them.
Yeah.
And he's like, what? I said, yeah. Why would I want to do that? Right? I made him answer me. I was like, why would I want to do that? He's like, well, they're probably looking for a roof. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So we go through and we start trucking through Lowe's. I said, there he is. And he's like, what? I said, there he is. Right there. Right? Because I told him that's called a scene size up. Right? And I
Yeah.
said, you need to look at the person that you're willing to go and communicate with. You got to look at the stranger and find the commonality.
Yeah.
And he's like, what do you mean the commonality? I was like, well, look at his boots, look at his shoes, look at his hat, look at his t-shirt, look at whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then find it. And I said, even if you don't care about what they're wearing or what they look like, make it a point to let them know you do care. Right. And so I had him fire it up and he failed. Whatever. You're supposed to. Right.
You didn't
And-
lose. He learned.
He learned.
Mhm.
And he was super nervous. You see sweat coming off his brow, and you know what I mean? And,
Yeah.
and then we got back in the truck. He's like, man, he goes, that was crazy. It was a rush. I said, no, it is a rush.
It is.
Yeah.
It is a rush to be able to walk up on somebody that you have never met and convert them
Yeah.
into a friend, a client, a relationship that you can put into your pocket and move forward in life. The whole object in business is to gather data.
It's more important than gold,
Okay.
statistically. Mhm.
Data is the new currency.
Yeah.
Time.
What do you
is
think,
the new-
Facebook? Hey, what's up, Facebook?
Right.
What do you think they're doing?
That is the new currency.
What does Casey like to shop?
And
Bet he likes burner phones.
Exactly. Next thing you know, Casey's his whole thread is going to be all about the FBI.
So my
Yeah.
my wife sent me this screenshot wasn't a link, wasn't nothing,
Mhm.
a screenshot of something for the new house.
Mhm.
And literally that evening,
All
well,
over.
it's there. Just a screenshot.
You know why?
Big Brother's all over you.
No, it was geotagged and meta tagged.
Yeah, the whole thing. That's your boy Chuck Leblow.
That is correct.
hmm
That's all I know, folks.
Yeah, that's why he's 80
Hey, so
with that.
back to real quick, because you were talking about he learned a lesson. He did,
Mhm.
you know, he didn't convert or whatever, the little failure, right?
Mhm.
You must plan for failure. You will get blitzed, right? Somebody is not going to have your weak side. Bam, here comes
Yeah.
that strong safety.
Mhm.
You will hit a tripwire. You must have contingencies in place, right? You must be training, and you must include within your training plans for failure. You will get blitzed.
Well, that's like training for overcoming objections and
yeah,
you know what I mean? And
it
he was
just
super
whatever it is,
uncomfortable.
whatever it is.
And I don't plan to fail.
No,
I never plan to fail, but I do know there's a ratio. There is a win to loss ratio. But the more you train and walking up on a stranger,
Yeah.
the greater your ratio becomes to winning,
exactly.
right?
I remember about a year or so ago, you had a goal of 100 people a week.
Still do it.
Yeah.
Still do it.
Still killing it. Yeah.
Still do it. And folks, that is 15 people per day.
But that's breaking it down to granular
That's
goals, right?
That is 15 people per day. That is one person per hour for 15 hours.
It's insane when you start breaking down your goals, man. And this is something I've been really honing in on this year, is not just saying I want this, but yeah, I want this, but what are the steps
Mhm.
to make me
To
get to there?
that.
Because then every day is a small win, right? Oh,
Mhm.
bam. You know, and that goal of, let's say, $500 a day, maybe you don't hit it today, but you sold 1,500 on Tuesday.
That's right.
Now you're ahead of the game.
Yeah.
Or now you're pumped up. You know what I mean?
No,
So
if you sell 1,500 in one day, your game starts over tomorrow.
every day it does.
Every day
it does, right? So
Play again. Every
Yeah.
day is play again.
put another quarter in the machine and let's get it. You know, so I dig it, man. We're
Is it already 7?
well, we started about 15 minutes later, so we got a little bit of time.
I was wondering how we got there so quickly.
And we got there fast.
Time waits for no man.
Never does.
So you know, here's a one thing that takeaways from all this month about, you must be focused on self-improvement, and you got to be focused on improving your team, whether that team is just your family, if you're a solopreneur, whether that team is just you, if it's just you, right? Whether that team is your independent contractors, right? If you're just a business owner and you have outside contractors, or if your team is, you're a general contractor and your team is completely made up of subs, or your team is a employer and you have a team of employees, right? That model of self-improvement, which includes the 80-20 rule, training, delegation, planning,
Yeah.
for successes. And why is the unknown scary, right? Meet this dude. What'd you call it? Situation size up,
Scene size up.
scene size up,
Scene
right?
size up.
And he
It's a-
was nervous,
Mhm.
right? The guy walks into the networking event and he's wearing Baby Gap clothes and he's just big and buff and scary looking, and people are like, why is this WWE fighter in here instead of in the octagon?
Yeah.
What
Anthony's
can
not gonna
take
like that one.
away the fear and increase the confidence?
And that's-
One thing, and that's training.
I'm gonna counter that.
One thing
I'm gonna counter that
with his
I statements.
Those are huge.
I statements.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is, yes, training is definitely important, but you can train me all day long. But if I don't believe in your training, then what's the point of this training? So if we begin to develop on a daily basis, 3 to 5 I statements, I am confident, I am successful, I am a closer, I am going to win today. And you embed that into your subconscious mind every single day and make that a habit, then you're destined for success, because you've now taken all of the BS that says, I don't know if I can. That's self-doubt, right? You need to remove your self-doubt. You
Write that
remove
down.
your obstacles. You create.
sounds like tomorrow's training at the office.
What,
Well,
I statements?
man,
we
it-
had training on that yesterday.
It goes back to the mindset,
Every time.
You are what you eat, and that's mentally, physically, spiritually, the whole deal we talk about. So if you're living in the gutter, Rick Johnson said it best, you're going to be in the gutter with the gutter.
That's right.
It is what it is. So there's a time and a place as I'll just forget the business portion of it, as a man or a woman who's going through growth and change, where you're going to significantly lose a good majority of the people you think are friends.
Mhm.
And I look back on my journey through that 15 years ago, and I stand back and I reflect on it. And you know what? None of them were friends. None of them were pushing me towards goals. None of them were supporting me. None of them were there. They weren't there when I was really needing them the most. You'll find out real quick as you start growing in your business and in your life, the people that really want to be a part of that. And those are the people that you cling to.
Mhm.
The rest of them is what I like to call noise.
Well,
And that's just the bottom line to it.
and they're actually takers.
Yeah.
Those people are takers.
Yeah.
That give you a persona of being a friend.
Yeah.
Give you the illusion of being a friend.
Mhm.
Because when they take something, you give it to them, right? I've given it to them. So therefore I get my win of a paycheck. Oh,
Yeah.
help my buddy out. But then a week later, hey man, I'm a
Guess some else again. Guess some again. Yeah.
Right. So
Mhm.
now you've set the habit for that person that it's okay to be taken from.
Yeah. Yeah.
And sooner or later, you have to build your own self-confidence and have that tough decision and say, hey, bro, not today.
Yeah. You got to
Right.
let them
And
fail
then-
on their own.
And here's what
Yeah.
the greatest thing of all that is, right? They'll get mad at you. They'll get right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's all good.
I had them get mad at me. Like, well, man, that's crazy, Doc. You were helping me out, and now you're not. Like, that's messed up. I'm like, whoa. And they try and flip the takers will try and flip the script on you to make you the one at fault, that you're the one that caused all of their problems, that you're the one that caused them to live in the gutter.
But it only stops if you stop enabling that.
That is correct.
100%.
So I don't allow people in my life that are takers.
Yeah.
You're not allowed.
And you have to do that with like sincere prejudice,
Yes.
because at the end of the day, what's really taking place here is you're trying to build an alliance of friends and family members that are all shooting towards the same
Yeah.
star and shooting towards the same planet, for lack of better words.
Right.
Because when your ship is off by 2 degrees because someone's foot's hanging out of the boat because they're not on the
That's
boat,
1,000 nautical miles.
you know,
man.
you end up in South America when you're supposed to be in Antarctica very quickly. So I'm 100% on board with that. And, you know, I got some haters lately and I'm loving it. You know why?
Supposed to. That
'Cause
means you're doing it.
something right.
You know
Yeah.
what? And,
It's this whole like, oh, he's too good. No, I'm not too good for anybody. You
Just-
know what? I'm just in competition with my damn self every day.
Yeah.
And if you're not on my level, hey, move out of the way because I'm trying to
yeah,
dominate.
it's okay to not be on the level, right? It's okay, but just like we're talking about the 80-20, you're filling up your not do list, right?
Mhm.
Instead of your to do list, you're filling up the list of things that you are no longer going to do, that you're not
Well, I'm
going to do. that are-
prioritizing what's equally important
but
and
you're
not.
doing the same thing in life,
Mhm.
right? You're finding ways to eliminate the force of average from everything you're focused on. And let's face it, sometimes that's going to hurt some people's feelings. Sometimes there's going to be some force of average people who have been part of your life, maybe will always be part of your life because they're relatives or they're just loyal.
That's okay.
And that's okay.
Cut them too.
That's okay, right? It's okay to hang around the sun and get a little suntan, but it's also okay to if you want to be in a room of other suns.
Some people are okay being in that mode of just getting
that force
by.
of average mode.
You know, some people like just standing at the bottom of the ladder. I've always seen that ladder as a step to
Some
get
people
to
like
the,
to hold it.
yeah,
And I'm the guy that I'm willing to give you a hand up, but not a handout.
yeah, every day.
And when you get taken advantage of, and I've been burned. Oh my God, I've been burned.
That's because you're a giver.
And I got
Who-
just tons
Who
of
has
I
not?
got
But yeah,
tons
for
of
sure.
Boudreaux's butt paste from all the freaking
Oh shit, I haven't heard that in a long time. Yeah, I remember
from
that.
all the BBDs that have been thrown my way.
Yeah.
And I will not tell
Yeah,
anybody.
no
what
more.
BBD
Don't.
stands
Yeah,
for.
yeah. Skirt speed.
But if you know what it is, you know what it is.
So at the end of the day, man, I think the people in your life, the things you do in your business, the goals you have as a person, as a human on this planet, not everything is equally important. And you have to prioritize that, and you have to fall back on your training. You got to fall back on your alliance, and you got to make sure every single day you wake up grateful. We all work gratitude every single day. It's a part of us. It's a part of our DNA, because when we wake up and we're grateful for what we have, the mindset is positive.
That's right. And then I make my bed
Yeah.
and I get it out of the way. And it's just been extraordinary. I mean, if anybody knew me 7 years ago, 8 years ago, my gratitude list was bull. Like I
Yeah.
wasn't grateful for nothing.
Yeah.
Right.
Woe
I
is
was-
me.
I was,
Yeah.
I was
Mhm.
self-doubt. I was Debbie Downer, negative Nancy. You know what I mean?
Victim
I
status.
was a victim.
Yeah.
It was a poor me mentality, and
Drain
was-
it. Just a drainer.
yeah, and
thought
I
you
just
said-
had
I thought-
no.
I thought he just called you a Gina.
He did.
I said a drainer.
Yeah, whatever. It's Coast Guard
Same
slang.
difference.
Drainer. And and then I promise you folks, like I haven't gotten to where I am today yesterday. You know what I mean?
Ah,
Like this transition didn't happen yesterday or anything like that. This has been hard freaking work. This has been
Yeah.
effort on a daily basis of becoming willing to become the next best version of who I am. And I
yeah.
promise you folks, when I started to make this transition, I was fucking scared.
Yeah. It's
Right?
tough.
I was afraid that people wouldn't recognize me in the same fashion. I was afraid that I wasn't going to be able to get the friendships that I thought I needed. You know what I mean? I didn't know who I was. I didn't know who the real Mike Rannigan was.
Yeah. But when you started cutting the fat
yeah,
and you got down to the meat and the bones, that's when you started finding out who is really a valuable person in your life.
that's right.
We just talked about this guy last year. A couple guys thought the grass was greener. And what happened? Your company's been flourishing since.
Yeah.
Right. So
That's going to happen.
cut the
Right.
fat.
Right. That's going to happen.
And I say all of that to let people know that it is hard work. It is hard to be grateful. It is hard to look at that end result that you're chasing.
Oh, none
It
of this is
difficult.
easy. Yeah.
Okay. But if you reverse engineer it and you break it down into its smallest bite, right? If you eat that elephant one bite at a time and you take these micro steps, for every 1 inch you take, you end up doing 12 inches. And for every 12 inches, you make a foot, so on and so forth,
Mm-hmm.
right? So just understand it's taken me 7 years to be the person I am today. And I promise you, tomorrow, I'm going to be a lot better guy I was tomorrow than I am today.
That's why I always get a kick out of those people that are like the must be nice or overnight success people. Like there's no such thing. I actually just read something today, this afternoon, talking about the overnight success and the people that are, that's an excuse for people who don't want to put the work in.
That's right.
Right. Oh, he's an overnight success. No, it's been 7 years. Right. If that's overnight, then man, we got a long ways to go in this
Sure
life.
did sleep a long time.
Yeah, so-
and
Keep grinding,
Rip
man.
Van Winkle just
Yeah.
stepped in the room.
Keep
hell, you know what I'm
grinding.
doing.
I'm not talking about Pappy Van Winkle. I'm talking about Rip Van. No, you're absolutely right. You know, the overnight success is a decade of 18-hour days,
Yeah.
right? A decade.
Hell, I didn't even know I was successful until somebody told me. They're like, "Damn, Mike, you look like you're successful." I was like, "Well, when did that happen?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, because of humility.
Because the
I-
rent's due every day.
you know, and we
That's
were
right, Casey.
gracious enough to be able to move to a new home, and and I'm gonna tell you guys right now, this house is out of my league. Like, I
It's
don't
pretty
even feel-
bougie.
I don't feel comfortable in it, right? Because I am from the streets of Oak Cliff. I am from the streets of Mesquite. I am from broke.
But you're working towards
Right.
it, and that's what you deserve.
And I go home and I look at it and I'm like, man, this is, and I tell Rochelle, I said, pinch me. I'm like, why? I was like, I don't know. I don't know if I'm supposed to be here.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know if the cops are going to show up any minute.
Those days are long gone, dude.
You know what I mean? And so it's just so surreal that when you take a moment and you look back on all the hard work and you finally get the reward that I assume that we were chasing.
Yeah, but it's not over.
Right. See, this is the thing,
not-
right?
yeah.
This is back to
It's just
St.
begun.
Francis's,
Yeah.
right? You focus on the necessary.
Mm-hmm.
Then you start working on the possible, right? And then all of a sudden you're doing what you've got a mind shift explosion, not a, I mean, we're talking about scaling out your thinking about what you actually can do. I remember being dropped off at MEPS going, you know, I just got to find a way to get to college.
Long.
Right.
Yeah.
I remember that. It's like 5:30 in the morning. Dad's like, go on in there and pick something. See you in a half a decade. Drives off. Right. I mean, it was kind of like that. And, you know, that's kind of how it went. And then the next thing you know, I took that GI Bill and I did something with it. I invested in some,
Mhm.
you know, I got a good start, right? Because of commitment, because of core values, because of the chance I was given in that at bat,
Mm-hmm.
you know, that at bat that Chief Petty Officer Calloway gave me. Thank you, Chief. And everything that flowed from that. But then once you got to those little, you know, stair steps, you start blowing out your thinking
Yeah, it's
Okay, now I'm gonna be a business owner.
Mhm.
Now I'm gonna move into Highland Park. Now I'm gonna own a jet. Now I'm gonna right. You
Yeah.
have to like all of a sudden
That is
Big
on my
hair-
bucket
the
list.
Yeah.
impossible becomes reality.
Absolutely.
Right. And it's these little steps, right? These little steps that get you into the momentum.
Did I just hear you say that the PBA is buying a jet?
Yep.
Damn.
Done. I just
See,
spoke that into existence.
Evan, this is what happens. Things happen and get spoken to existence, and then they just start happening.
we
So
will have a jet.
that okay, all right. We're gonna get there.
We're going worldwide. What is
That's
that?
it,
Prestige worldwide.
Prestige worldwide.
Prestige worldwide, man. Like that's what happens. It's the Catalina wide mixture.
Yeah.
Make shit go down. Like
Hey man, so let's just real quick spend a couple of minutes on the date of December 15th.
December 15th.
We're gonna be holding our annual Patriot Business Alliance whiteboard party, which means we're inviting all the winners to come in and talk about wins, because this is a thing we do to put everybody in the same room to talk about the wins for the year, because that just elevates all of us in the same room to do better than next year. So put it on your calendars.
Got freaking chills.
It's going to be the evening of
Ugh.
December 15th, and we're going to have some details. We told you last week we're going to have it all ironed out. We got the date. We're going to do it here at the space.
Yep.
And we're going to have all of the event stuff and details ready by next week at this time, so we can provide the link to RSVP, because it's not going to be just it's going to be very
it's
intimate,
limited amount of people.
limited to people, and it's going to be worth your while. We're going to be putting on some cool stuff.
Like
So
it's going to be insane. We're going to have some real heavy hitters come in and really kind of hone in on your wins and how do you become better winners, right?
exactly.
We're going to hone in on if you set a goal, like for myself, I set a goal for Doc's Roofing to do $3 million net,
Mhm.
right? So I will evaluate that through my profit and loss statement come December.
Yeah.
And if I come short of that goal, well, then I'm going to have somebody here that I can be like, hey man, where did I lose at? Where was my failure?
Mhm.
Right. So that in 2022,
You can hit it.
I'm going to hit that 3
Exceed
million. I'm
it.
going to crush that 3 million
Yeah.
and I'm going to move on to the next one.
Exactly.
Right. So there's going to be people in this room that's going to be able to talk to, so that whenever you didn't hit that goal or you came close enough to it or you crushed it,
Yeah.
right, you're going to be able to share that, gain some new insight on what the next steps are, and be able to cruise through 2022 and just become a better person.
Yeah, because we're not trying to just get one win.
Nah,
We're trying to become a dynasty.
No, we're talking about
Yeah.
just
93 Bulls.
93 Bulls,
Right.
The-
72-10
the
diamond rings.
1914 Buffalo Bills.
Yeah.
You name it. You name it. That's what we're doing.
Man, so hey, put it on your calendar. We'll be putting out
December 15th,
Yep,
y'all.
we'll be putting out all
What's
the
that
links. December 15th.
It is
So-
a Wednesday.
Yep. So we'll
It is
stay
a
consistent.
Well, we
Wednesday
win
night.
on Wednesdays.
Because
That's
we're
it.
winning on Wednesday, so it will be a Wednesday night hump day. We're trying to do it before the whole Christmas thing gets kicked off. We all know that. So we'd love to have you guys out here, man. It's going to be fast. And if you were at the $1 Million Hustle, you guys know what kind of energy we bring.
Yep.
You guys know what type of impact we're having on people. And it may be at the space. It may not.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm telling you what, I don't know. I got some crazy ass ideas going on in
So-
my brain.
At the end of the day, keep a lookout on our Facebook page. If you have any questions, you need any help, mentorship, you got business issues, personal issues that you would like to speak to the right people about, Patriot Business Alliance TX at gmail.com.
Got it.
Our podcast on Spotify, iTunes, our YouTube, like our stuff is out there, people. So
Mhm.
look, if you ain't making money right now, you're wrong, because there's
Wrong.
money out there to be made, and you might just be lazy. So get up and get working. And
Yeah.
we're gonna get ready for tomorrow, which is $10,000
$10,000
Thursday.
Thursday.
Wait. What day?
You know what it is? $10,000 Thursday.
Yeah.
You know
Every
what I'm saying? We
Thursday.
crushing shit tomorrow.
All right, y'all
Sorry,
be good.
Keith.
If
Plus
you ain't,
Christmas.
what is it?
Hey, if you can't be good,
Be good at it.
be
right?
good at it.